What's going on, guys? Dustin Hanson here, back with another video. So today we are going to go ahead and throw the dash in the RX7, get the wiring and interior installed. We're going to fire this thing up for the first time, so let's get right to it. Alright guys, so most of the wiring is done. We're going to go ahead and throw the dash in. I just wiped it off, cleaned her up a little bit. It's easier when it's outside, so it's still drying, but we're going to go ahead and toss this thing in the car. Got the battery hooked up back here. Everything is wired up. Look at this. I got power to the gauges and to the ECU. I have my out of sight, out of mind radio hooked up. This literally just runs off Bluetooth and a toggle switch on and off. And then you tuck it behind the dash. It connects to my phone via Bluetooth. We have most of the wiring done. I still need to tuck it all, but just making sure everything works. We are low on gas. You can see it's acquiring my GPS with the with the antenna here. So everything is ran. It's so dusty. Everything's ran off of GPS. I have my shift light set up, all that stuff. So pretty cool set of gauges, speed hut. But now we just need to wire up everything, starter and alternator, that good stuff, and we can start it. All right guys, we got her all jacked up. We need to go ahead and put the brake lines on and bleed front and back, and then obviously the clutch. But we're gonna go ahead and start it, get this oil pressure up. I got the fuel pump disconnected and ignition coils are not on, so let's go ahead and start her, see what happens. Oh yeah. All right guys, so everything is cleaned up. I still need to go through and detail it, but the major junk is clean. Everything is wired up. All I need to do is put the exhaust on. I want to go ahead and hook up the brake lines because I want my clutch and obviously brakes. So I'm just gonna hook those up. Still need to hook up my gauges to make sure I have a good amount of oil pressure going through. Need to hook up all these brakes. Look at this. Best sticker in the world. Used to be blue and black, but now Mazda's genuine parts is white and black. Still, best feeling to see those stickers. But yeah, so we just need to realistically hook up the brakes, some ground wires, and then start her as long as we got oil pressure. So let's go ahead and knock this exhaust out, hook up the brakes. Let's give it a start. All right, guys, we are logging, ready for the first startup. Got the water pump on, all the gauges are good to go, so we're gonna go ahead and give this thing a first start. Well, sick, forgot to hit record again, but there it is. to lock the throwout bearing into this ring here. You can see there's a throwout bearing. I'll push it in my hand. So that's got to be locked into the actual clutch there. And I forgot to do that, so my slave cylinder pin was just bouncing around hitting the clutch. Actually, you can tell right there. It's just scraping along the clutch. So I gotta lock that in. That's what that chattering noise was my slave cylinder hitting the clutch. So let's go ahead and push that in. You just use a pry bar, push behind there, force it in until it grabs onto that ring right there. You kind of can see it, but yeah. See that it is locked in. So here is, I'm gonna have to get all crazy. There's my slave cylinder pin. You can see right there. That was sitting like that, and that was just rattling around. So now I gotta take the slave out, align that pin right there, and get it in the clutch fork. There's a little hole that you gotta line it up to. So, but for now we're gonna call it a day just because it is getting dark out. That of course is why you should not rush starting your engines. I should have bled my clutch and did my brakes first, and I would have noticed that obviously something was wrong and that I wasn't getting any pressure on my clutch, but I'm impatient and I want to start it, so no big deal. Just got to go back and redo it tomorrow. So we'll get that done, and then it's also leaking from the fuel filter, so I think the line split, so I gotta get a new fuel line for my buddy Austin, and then should be ready to go. So it is the next day. We went ahead, I don't even know if I told you guys, but I bled the brakes, bled the clutch, everything is finally good. We had a super bad fuel leak back there, and it was this line right here. Let me go in the shade. You can tell right there, that line was cracked at the fuel filter. So I went ahead and my buddy Austin hooked it up with some -6 line. Thank God he had it. And I went ahead and threw that in. So now that it is done leaking, we're about to premix some gas, toss it in there, and get this thing running. It's Sunday, so you know how it is. Can't be loud, but we're just gonna finish up some minor things. I want to paint the headlights. All the coolant lines, all these fittings are leaking, so I need to go back and fix that. I'm gonna put some more the thread tape on it as well. I might add a crush washer. I gotta see. I forget how the threads are on that thing, so we gotta pull those off, drain the coolant, redo that, and should be ready to drive though. So let's get this premix mixed up and toss some fuel in there because we are on E. For those who don't know, premix is literally two-stroke oil. It's like what you put in your a dirt bike, a two-stroke, your boat engines, and lawnmowers, stuff like that. So with the stock RX7, it runs at OMP, and that pumps oil into the engine. So this engine actually burns oil from factory, and that's what lubricates your housings. The problem is that if the OMP fails and stops pumping oil into your engine, you have no idea that it failed. There's no alarm, there's no anything that'll tell you. So when it fails, or if it fails, now you lost your source of lubrication. So is what a lot of people do is they premix. You delete that OMP, that oil metering pump, and you run two-stroke oil in your gas. I do about 2 ounces per gallon, so there's 10 ounces for 5. But yeah, so what you do is you premix, and you basically are running two-stroke gas, and so now it'll push it through your fuel injectors. And so now, as long as you have fuel going, you will have your lubrication, and that way you will always have a source of lubrication as long as there's fuel pumping in your engine. So that's why a lot of RX7 owners premix. So if you don't know, now you know. There's your little premix lesson for the day. Nice blue tint right there. It's because the premix that I use. Some people use different premix. There's all sorts of different kinds of premix. I just run your generic two-stroke oil. I don't run anything fancy. I never have. There's people that'll drop like a lot of money on special premix race gas that mixes perfectly and blah blah blah. I don't know. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I've always had good luck with my generic two-stroke oil, so that's what I use. Alright guys, so here we are. We have both of the headlights fully mounted down. The fitment is actually pretty good. I need to pull the hood forward a little bit so it fills this gap, but not bad at all. Same thing on this side, so pretty good. We're about to go ahead and throw the bumper on. This thing is looking sick. I cannot wait to get it running. Really, all I have to do is throw the wheels on and bolt down the fenders, and we're good to go. So once we get the wheels on and the fenders bolted down, I need to throw in my seat. I'm just gonna throw in the driver for the time being. I need to drive it over to my buddy Nick's, who is doing my intercooler piping, and he's also gonna maybe weld up some fittings on my fuel pump hanger to run -8 lines. So we are gonna go over there and be our first test drive. So we'll see, work out all the kinks. Hopefully there's none. It'd be nice, but we'll see. So I gotta throw the wheels on, get this thing on the ground. I'm gonna throw the bumper on real quick. That way we could get everything mocked up, have plates on it. I'm sure Germans would lose their mind if they saw a car without a bumper. So I'm just gonna throw it on, and then we'll start it, drive it over. Guys, bumper is all on and ready to go. So now we just gotta throw my sway bar on, because I just realized that I didn't put that back on. Throw the wheels on, and I'm gonna do a little makeshift alignment for the time being, just to get it over to Nick's house, because I need to get this intercooler piping done before I can start really driving around. So when you get it close enough, eyeball it. We'll do the piece of string and then get it close, and then I'll actually do a proper alignment later. But we are gonna go ahead and slap the wheels on, get this thing going. I kind of want to clean her up a little bit, but she's looking good, man. I'm so excited. Air filter on there just so no dirt gets in the new engine. We got one on the turbo as well. Now she's ready to go. We're getting the laptop ready, and we're gonna hook it up, data log everything, and drive it over to Nick's. We'll be on our way. Oh man, first drive. Nice, easy. Didn't like me letting the clutch out. Clutch is in. I'll let it warm up a little bit before I take the clutch out. So first drive, everything is going smooth. Car is still warming up. We're hot in here. Data logging, everything's going good. We threw in the OEM stock flywheel, because I had a light flywheel, and this thing drives so much better. It is so much easier on the clutch. So I do like that. The only complaint I have right now is I have the Chase Bay's manual brake booster, and my brakes are very hard to hit. I'm like standing on them, so I don't know. We got a bunch of people looking, but I don't know if maybe I need to go through and re-bleed them, or if that's just how they are. So maybe I'm gonna take a little bit of getting used to, just because, like I said, I'm standing on them, but just obviously braking in advance, not going fast. So far so good though, other than this brake issue. We'll go ahead and bleed them again and mess with the proportion of the valve. Maybe it just needs to be adjusted, so we'll see. So far so good. Keep updating you guys though. Alright guys, so we are back from Nick's. The car is dropped off and it is in good hands. Hopefully he'll have that done here in the next couple days. But we're gonna call it a day here. Just got back. That's why I love being in the military overseas. When people PCS, they can't take their all their liquids with them, so they always just give them away. I got a bunch of transmission fluid and oil and carb cleaner, brake cleaner, all that good stuff. So, but anyways, we're gonna go ahead and call it a day. I'll see you guys in the next video when we pick up the FD.